Yesterday, out of the 5 limbs of striving we have been discussing, we touched on the 4th limb or factor, both from the theoretical and practical aspects, namely arada viriya, sustained energy. As it said, arada viriya viharati. One has got to live with the practice or exertion of sustained energy in order to overcome sloth and torpor, sluggishness, and progressing in a progressive way until we reach the cherished goal. Then the strong Lolavariya energy is bound to arise automatically. And for what purpose do we have to exert energy? There are 2 main purposes. One is to overcome the arisen unwholesome mental states, or not to allow unwholesome mental states, unskillful mental states to arise. This is given by the expression akusala nandamana pahanaya. And then the second motive was to let the skillful states of mind to arise, if not arisen. And if it's already arisen, to develop and maintain these wholesome, skillful mental states, which is given by the expression kusalana dhammanam upasamadaya. So these are the 2 motives for which we exert energy and no other. Sustaining mindfulness, applying energy to sustain mindfulness every second of the practice, every second of the time, so that the energy which has already started will gain momentum until it reaches a very strong stage of energy known as tamava, which is given as an expression tamava, which will lead to dalla bharakama, powerful energy, powerful exertion of energy, which is required in the practice of a high level practice of mind development, bhavana, where we need to apply this energy in order to overcome sluggishness, in order to overcome slackness, laxity, wishing to withdraw, wishing to give up in the practice of meditation, or getting exhausted. Although one exerts in the beginning, one gets exhausted in the course of the practice. These things are to be overcome with the application or exertion of energy, so that there will be no more sloth and torpor, tinamida, and sluggishness. This is the immediate benefit of the exertion of energy. There are 3 stages of energy, as we have already discussed. First of all, the initial launching energy. Initiate the energy. Then we step up that energy in order to overcome sluggishness, slackness, laziness, and so on. Then the third stage is the progressive energy until we reach the goal. So that this energy will not go down, just like we gave this analogy yesterday. When you are lifting up the material, it will not go down, neither will it stagnate in the middle. It will only go up and up, gaining momentum. So first of all, we initiate the energy. Then we develop it. As it gains momentum, we let it multiply, we enhance this energy so that moments of energy will become continuous. And as is given in this quantitative calculation, the usual calculation, if we apply this energy in 1 minute, at the rate of one energy or one moment of energy per second. There will be 60 times of energy applied. So that in 5 minutes, 300, and in 1 hour, 3,600 times of energy. In this way, the energy is said to be multiplied as we go on applying it continuously. So it will become very effective energy, and this in itself is known as bhavana, translated as mind development. In fact, it is the exertion of energy. The practice of meditation to develop the mind, bhavana, is none other than the exertion of energy. So when we practice this bhavana, mind development, kilesas will not be accepted. Kilesas means defilements or mental impurities. They will not be accepted. Instead, they will be overcome or abandoned. They are not accepted by not giving a chance for these defilements to arise in your stream of consciousness. And by not giving a chance, we say that we have abandoned them. We have overcome them. We have dispelled them. As much as we exert energy, the energy will be enhanced, and as much as it is enhanced and developed, then akusala, unskillful states of mind, will not have a chance to arise. Instead, it will give place to kusala, skillful states of mind. So, again, this calculation. This is just a, rule of thumb calculation. If you apply this energy in 1 minute, at the rate of 1 time per second, we will be replacing unskillful mental states with skillful mental states, kusala, 60 times, and so on in 5 minutes and 1 hour, so that the energy will gain momentum, and more skillful states of mind will arise in your stream of consciousness. So in this way, we'll have to compute about the result of the exertion of energy. Viriya, exertion of energy, is in a way paving the way towards the cultivation of sila, samadhi, panya, morality, concentration, and wisdom or insight. So, with the application of energy, one will be able to sustain mindfulness on the object of observation precisely, correctly, concurrently, so that the noting mind will fall calm and collected on the object of observation, leading to Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration. Concentration, arising moment by moment, which is required for the cultivation of insight, panya, wisdom, knowing the nature or true nature of the objects noted, such as this is the noting mind and this is the noted object. This is the rising, which is the materiality, and this is the noting mind, which knows the rising of the abdomen. And this is falling, which is the materiality, and the knowing of falling as mentality. As much as one is able to exert the energy, one will be able to sustain mindfulness and deepen the concentration, so that one will become aware of the true nature of the realities, such as the reality of mind and body, and the conditionality of mind and body. And with the sustaining of mindful application of mindfulness, there will be concentration, deepening of concentration. With the deepened concentration, one will comprehend the three characteristics of universal existence. That all the conditioned psychophysical phenomena will arise and pass away. Seeing the arising and passing away of the conditioned psychophysical phenomena, mind and body. And then one will comprehend the nature of the pain, suffering. What is changing will be painful. So one sees the change and the pain. And then one will come to see that things arise on their own, not at your will. You cannot make them to arise. You cannot wish them to happen as you wish it to happen. They will happen at their will. So at times you will see the change arising and passing away. At other times you will see the pain, the nature of suffering. That especially when you experience excruciating pain in your body, unbearable pain in your body, then you will come to realize that this body is a mass of suffering, a mass of pain. And there is no self or soul or living entity or ego entity. You cannot make them as you wish it to happen. They arise on their own. You want it to be good, but they may not be good. You want them to arise as you wish, but they will not arise as you wish. So they are ungovernable, uncontrollable. So if you are able to exert energy continuously, you are bound to see these characteristics of existence. At this stage, you are cultivating, or you are beginning to cultivate insight knowledge, Vipassana jnana. As you are able to, this energy is, with the continuation of the exertion of energy, you will be able to connect with your object continuously without missing the objects to be noted. And this energy is a driving force to connect the noting mind with the object to be noted. At this point, because yogis are noting rising and falling, again noting rising and falling, so they are noting the same objects every time, same thing all the time, so that they may get bored with the practice. Then the energy may go down. They may not wish to exert energy, instead become slack, laxed, so that energy may weaken at this stage. Especially when there is pain in the body, unbearable pain, and you try to note it, but you cannot overcome this pain. The pain does not go away. So, besides boredom, you get discouraged, dispirited. At that time, you need to step up your energy, known as Nekama Dhatu, so as to overcome boredom, sluggishness, and exhaustion of energy. By doing so, you overcome the sloth and torpor, sluggishness, slackness. So that if you practice, the text has given this instruction to step up your energy in order to overcome this sloth and torpor and boredom and sluggishness. Practicing without regard to your body and life, risking your body and life. Not to give up, even if there is pain in your body. Not to give up thinking that you might die. So there's no such thing as death due to practice. So far there has not been any fatalities in the retreat due to practice. So there need not be fear about this death or disease due to pain in the course of the practice. So you have to be courageous to practice at the risk of body and life, so as to overcome sluggishness, sloth and torpor, slackness and exhaustion of energy. Once you overcome this situation, then yogis will become very happy. They will rejoice over their victory. At this stage, this energy, virya, also will gain momentum and will come to see the realities of the objects noted, the nature of the objects noted, such as the arising and passing away of the objects noted, the old giving place to the new, and will be able to comprehend clearly the change of these objects, changing situation of these objects, impermanence of the objects noted. So this is the result of the stepped up energy. So in this way you will become fulfilled with this insight knowledge of impermanence, that things arise and pass away, and also your energy will gain momentum. Light, clear vision and illumination. The first, there will be slight illumination, light, then the light will continue and continue, so that there will be more and more light, more and more illumination. In this way, the wall is said to have come down gradually. All the layers are said to have been peeled off gradually, layer by layer. And as the layer of delusion is removed one after another, you are bound to penetrate this mind and body and see things in their true nature. This in itself is what is meant by cultivating knowledge, or seeing things in the true light in place instead of moha, delusion. You are not more confused. You are no more bewildered. So there will be only clarity and light and knowledge. Then another quality is samma dukkha kaya gaminiwa. That means the dukkha in the form of raga, dosa, moha, craving, aversion and delusion. All these things are dukkha, suffering. They are very dangerous suffering, pain, because at the moment of their arising, they will cause suffering. They will harm you. They are harmful. And they are also causes of harm in the aftermath. By indulging in these kilesas, you do immoral deeds, so you are bound to suffer. Therefore, these kilesas are the causes of suffering. So very dangerous. So all these lobha also is dukkha, is pain, suffering. Dosa and moha, all these things are suffering, and all other impurities are suffering. Because now you are knowing, you're cultivating knowledge, so that there will be no more unknowing, no more bewilderment, no more ignorance, no more moha. That's why it is said that you are marching towards the cessation or exhaustion or ending of suffering. By cultivating knowledge, you are coming to the end of kilesas. And is this practice, is this result from just thinking? And does it result from thinking, just thinking, or from the book, or from hearsay, or from the teachers? It is not so. This result comes about from the right practice. Hence it is said samma. The right practice. Now the yogis are practicing rightly, correctly, so that they are marching, they are going towards the exhaustion or overcoming or ending of suffering. The old giving place to the new, knowing, because you are cultivating knowledge of arising and passing away, so that you are marching towards the end of or cessation of impurities, beginning with the impurity of ignorance, not knowing the truth and knowing in a wrong way. And also, as a cause of these, as a result of these impurities, there will be no more physical, verbal, mental misconduct. All these things also are suffering, and they will not have a chance to arise in you. And also, you are not performing ordinary kusala, ordinary merits, in order to give rise to new becoming, whether good or bad becoming. You are practicing high-level kusala, high-level good deeds, to be free from suffering. That is the difference. You are not performing ordinary kusala. You are performing high-level, extraordinary, wholesome deeds in order to be liberated from suffering. And that is the difference. Therefore, you are not performing good or bad physical, verbal, mental behaviors in order to be reborn in a good or bad existence, as the case may be, and you are coming to the end of this suffering of old age, disease and death. Because even if you are born in a good deed, a good existence, you will not be free from old age, disease and death. Therefore, you are marching towards the end of suffering. In this way, you will be free from kilesa suffering, suffering due to defilements, and suffering due to conditioned things, formations, sankhara, dukkha, the suffering of formations, and you will be free from the suffering of vipaka, that is the result, the resultant suffering, or suffering of resultant in the form of initial resultant, that is rebirth in a new existence, and also the continuous resultant, that is seeing, hearing, tasting, touching and so on after your birth. So that you will be free from this suffering of result, vipaka. You have come to the end of suffering. So this quality is due to this knowledge of arising and passing away in the first way. At this stage, the blood circulation will become very good, clear. You will be delighted. Piti will arise, joy, sukha, happiness, of the arising and passing away. And you will become very delighted with the practice. You will enjoy the practice of the Dhamma. Previously, you have enjoyed sensual pleasures, and you come to realize that your previous enjoyment of sensual pleasures have been worthless. The Dhamma delight, the pleasure of practice or Dhamma, brings about this genuine happiness. You will come to realize that also. And it transcends many folds the pleasures of senses, sensual pleasures. In the text, that's why it's praised at this stage with this expression, amanusi rati hoti. Amanusi means beyond the reach of the enjoyment of human pleasures. At this stage of Uriyabhya Jnana, that is the knowledge of the comprehension of the fast arising and passing away of mind, body, the pleasures that you can get as a result of the practice will be seen as much better, or it excels manifold. It transcends much manifold the sensual pleasures of enjoyment, of pleasurable sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and so on. Where you try to enjoy the sensual pleasures, if you get good sights, pleasurable sights, you look for better and better ones. When you hear pleasurable sounds, you look for better and better ones. So in this way you have enjoyed these sensual pleasures. And this pleasure that you can get out of the practice is much better. And the sensual pleasures cannot match with the sensual the pleasures that you get out of the practice. This is given by this expression amanusi, rati, delight. So at this stage, with the cultivation of mind and insight, you become very encouraged, inspired, and you become very energetic with the knowledge that you have gained. And this kind of pleasure that you are getting is the kind of thing which is good in itself. And this is the kind of delight that you are getting. And then when you come to realize this pleasure, or when you come to enjoy this pleasure of practice, you will never think of withdrawing from the practice, receding from the practice. You will never give up this practice. You will only advance forward in the practice until you are able to realize the cherished goal of the path and fruition knowledge of the noble ones in this very life, which is which gives you assured existence, assured life. For those who can practice with real faith and confidence and zeal, strong will to undertake the practice, they are bound to experience this kind of result, delight, Dhamma delight. With energy, application of energy, and not giving up, overcoming the exhaustion and sluggishness and sloth and torpor. Then practicing with an active way, diligently, then the time will not take long to realize this cherished goal. Otherwise, if you are practicing in a slack way and only thinking without practicing or thinking at times, and thinking that considering this conceptual knowledge is a real knowledge or experiential one, then there's no guarantee that such people will realize this cherished goal. It may take 1 month, 2 months, 1 year. You can never tell. There's no guarantee for such yogis. So if they can practice according to instructions, every second of the time, effectively, with application, exertion of energy, and continuously, they are bound to realize this benefit very soon, since you have come a long way. And may you be able to practice with strong zeal, strong faith and confidence, and the application of energy to realize this goal, the Dhamma delight, which transcends manifold the sensual pleasures. That's all. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That's all. Sadhu, Sadhu, sadhu. So, sadhu, sadhu.